What's up, everyone? My name is Tyrone Brown, licensed real estate broker with over 20 years of experience in multiple real estate markets. Well, in today's video, this video was one that I recorded probably about a year and a half ago. I want to talk to you about earnest money in the South Carolina areas, strictly some of the areas that I serve in the Sumter, Columbia, and the Florence real estate market. So stay tuned for the earnest money video. Hi, my name is Tyrone Brown with Century 21 Vanguard Real Estate. I service the Columbia, Sumter, and the Florence market areas. Well, in this video, I just wanted to talk real brief about what is earnest money and what are some of the requirements from an agent as well as a real estate brokerage when it comes to earnest money. You know, because I had a scenario a few weeks ago where a real estate agent and I, we ratified a contract, but the real estate agent never turned in earnest money, or he never communicated that earnest money was turned in. It never happened. So what is earnest money? Let's talk about that first. Well, earnest money is when a buyer is going to be, is showing a seller that the buyer is going to be in good faith to execute the contract to be considered. They're putting some money down. You know, it can be customary. It can be anywhere from 1% or 3% of the final purchase price. But earnest money is still you can negotiate that. But that's just a general rule of thumb when it comes to earnest money. What are the requirements when it comes to brokerages or attorneys handling earnest money? Now, South Carolina, a lot of people don't know, South Carolina is catching up with other parts of the country. You know, other parts of the country, they've been doing this. South Carolina, I want to say about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, a lot of brokerages now are taking a position where they do not want to put earnest money in a trust account for their brokerage, because obviously the state comes in, they have to audit that earnest money, and they have to track the trail when it comes to money. So a lot of real estate brokerages, a lot of the big companies are now letting the attorney, because attorneys they have a different rule when it comes to that, but they still have to be in compliance with state laws. But the attorney now, they're holding their earnest money. A lot of the attorneys are holding the earnest money in a trust account with the attorneys. Now, that's a requirement. You got to have a trust account, right? The other thing is, let's say there's a dispute. If you as a seller, you as the buyer, you know, the buyer decides well, they don't want to buy the house, or you guys decide you don't want to go through with the house. In order for earnest money to be released out of that account, both parties have to come to an agreement to, based on the contract, to be released. So you need a release form that has to be signed and agreed to by both parties to release that earnest money to to that buyer, or whatever terms that you come to when it comes to earnest money. So that's another thing, if nobody ever shared with you how earnest money works. But it's also the obligations of an agent. So if we write a contract, and in the contracts, let's say, you know, you can negotiate the time frame. If it's going to take you 2 weeks to come up with the earnest money, you can write that in the contract if both parties are in agreement, but you have to be in compliance. When 2 weeks come, earnest money should be in the attorneys or brokerage that are still accepting earnest money account. In this scenario, the agent never followed through with his client, or he made sure that it was deposited. And that alone can get an agent in trouble. So the reason I made this quick video to you as a consumer, you want to make sure that you are working with a team or a real estate agent who really understand the process and procedure when it comes to earnest money, because that's a very gray area, and you know, it can get parties in a lot of stuff, a lot of trouble. It can even get people sued, you know, cause people to lose licenses. So I just wanted to share that because a lot of people don't know how to, in a simple, quick, straightforward video, because a lot of people don't know how earnest money work. And I just wanted to make a quick video about that. So thanks again. If you found the video to be kind of helpful to you as a consumer, even as a real estate agent, hey, as a refreshment, we should know, we should stay in compliance. Hey, check me out. Name's Tyrone Brown, Century 21. You can give me a call at 803-566-0237, or you can definitely text me if you got any questions pertaining to real estate. I would love an opportunity to earn your business or guide you or point you in the right direction and do anything that I can do to help you. Thanks again.